My name is Javier Gonzalez. I'm 18 years old. I was born in Queens and raised in Brooklyn.
At what age did you discover the sport of handball?
I actually discovered handball when I was around 10 years old and watched it, but I didn't feel like playing it because I used to see great players play all the time at parks, but I was like, wow, this is they're too good for me to play, so I didn't want to play yet. So I actually went to a field trip and there were some girls playing and I was like, wow, I want to play. I wanted to try to show off, but I was really horrible. So I just started playing from then, trying to show off. I just smacked the ball.
You said that you saw some great players play.
Yeah.
Where?
It was Elmer's Queens. Yeah, Elmer's Queens. I saw them play.
And you just happened to be in the park and you saw some of these players?
Yeah, I actually came from practicing from. I used to play soccer as well. Yeah, and every time after a game, I would just go to the park and play with my friends. Yeah.
And so you saw some people playing handball.
Yeah, and I found it really interesting.
What was so interesting about it?
The way they just kept diving for the ball and just the excitement. It was really fun. They were just shouting "Let's go" or "Nice shot," They're hustling left and right. Yeah.
So then you went on a field trip and you decided to get on the court when you saw some females play because you wanted to show off. And then, so what was it? As soon as you hit the ball, what was the feeling and what made you want to keep playing?
Well, I actually had bone bruises, but I didn't know how to hit a ball, but I don't know, I just wanted to try it out because, I just felt like it was for me, I wanted to try something new.
Did it replace soccer for you?
Yeah, it replaced soccer for me.
Why?
Well, I met new friends, soccer, I don't know, I just felt like handball could be something fun, just be better. I could probably be better at handball than I was at soccer, yeah.
Well, who put you in soccer when you were playing soccer?
My father put me in soccer.
Did you like soccer?
Yeah, soccer was really fun, but I find handball more interesting.
I've been told plenty of times, and tell me if this is true for you too, once you play handball, it's almost like you're stuck. You don't go on to playing another sport. What is it about the sport that keeps drawing you back?
Well, handball can be played anywhere. It's found everywhere. So it's always going to be there for you. So you can't leave. You go down the block, you can see a handball court. You could travel to different boroughs, you see tons and tons of handball courts.
So it's accessible?
Yes.
When did you realize you were getting good at it?
I think last year I felt like I got really good at handball. I'm almost there, but I haven't reached my peak yet.
What happened last year when that made you realize that you were really good in the sport?
Well, King of the Courts, I played Gio, and I was really nervous, and he was beating me up, 15-5, and then in my head I was like, wow, this guy's freaking amazing, and I was just like, if he could do it, I'm gonna try to do it, I'm gonna dominate, and so I beat him 21-20, and from then I just started winning a lot, and I felt like I'm a good player. I've been changing, doing better things, placing, and a lot of people tell me now that I'm almost at my full potential.
So would you say that beating Gio that day gave you confidence?
Yeah, it's definitely sparked me up gave me a spark and gave me fuel to play harder.
So I know that you look up to Tavo,
Yeah.
right? Because everybody calls you little Tavo. And Gio and Tavo are best friends. Gio's one of the best players in the city. What thoughts, I mean, really, because like in order to step on the court with one of the best players probably in the world and say, I know I can beat this guy, where did you get that from?
Well, it was just in me. I just felt like if he can hit that, then I can hit it too. Or I can at least try to hit it. Because I was missing a lot, but he was dominating overall because he's definitely the better player. But I just felt like I'm going to go for it. I have nothing to lose. So I just went for it.
That's dope. Because usually when people are losing by a 10-point spread, they give up, right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you give up?
Anything can happen. Yeah.
Is that how you live life?
Yes. I just take my chance. And if it happens, it happens.
Can you name another example? Doesn't have to be on the handball court. It can be, but where you took your shot and something happened in your favor? Something that you didn't think was possible?
No, I can't, not now.
Okay, I have something for you. You tell me if this is too personal, you don't want to talk about it or whatever, but Mexico.
Yeah.
I was one of the people you reached out to when you were out there. And you were young, and you had pretty much no resources, no one. How did you get back to the United States? Because that seems impossible. How, and I feel like this is why you were able to beat Gio. And not just Gio, I'm not saying anything about Gio because he's an amazing player, but you have to have something special inside of you to get on the court with one of the best players in the world and say, I know I can beat this guy. Or be losing by a 10-point spread and still say, you know what, I still have a shot. Not a lot of people have that in life, right? But you have that in you where you're like, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to give it my all and see what happens. You were stuck in another country. How did you make it back to the United States?
Well, I was confused, really confused. I was just trying to find a way to get back, and I definitely went through a rough time, and it took a while to get back, but I didn't give up, so I just kept on trying and trying till I finally found a solution. I went to the American Embassy, and I met this guy. He really helped me a lot, and yeah, I was just like positive always. I was just always positive.
How long did it take you to get to the American Embassy?
From where I was, or it took me like 3.5 hours. Yeah.
How did you get there?
I asked people for directions.
Did you walk?
No, I took some bus. It was like a MTA bus, but it was like private or something like that. Yeah.
For you to get out of that situation at the age that you were, and then on top of all that, you didn't even speak Spanish, right, when you first got there?
No, I couldn't. Yeah, I could, but it was like really bad.
So you learned how to speak the language
Yeah.
of another country, and found your way out of that country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about how you wound up in Mexico in the first place. How did you wind up there?
Well, I was lied to by my mother. We were supposed to go on vacation for 2 weeks, and it ended up being 3, 4, 5, a month, 2 months, and then I kept asking her, like, when are we going back? She was like, oh, I'll let you know soon, and I just kept asking, and she was like, you're not going back. And I was like, why not? She was like, you're staying here. And I was just really, like, mentally, I didn't know what to do, anything. And she just took away my passport, my ID, everything. And I was just left there.
Were you left there with family?
I was left with her mother, but her dad didn't like me for some reason. I don't know why. My uncle didn't like me. And that's when I just left I met some friends over there that played soccer too. I would go watch them play, and we met, and I told them about what was happening, and they let me stay at their place. And I actually met some people from New York that came to the same place, and we spoke English to each other because my Spanish was horrible. So we just spoke, and they were like, where did you live in New York? And I told them. They were like, oh, really? We live there too. And we would just talk about New York and stuff, and I was like, damn, I really want to go back. And I think that's when I started trying to come back, because I really missed my home.
How long did you live out there for?
For a year and a half.
In that time frame, did you have contact with your mom?
No, she just disappeared. Yeah.
So you were left with family that you didn't grow up with, and on top of that, your grandfather and your uncle didn't like you. Did they mistreat you?
Not really. I just left because I felt really uncomfortable. Like, it was so negative. Yeah.
So we met you, and then you disappeared. And everybody was like, where's Javi?
Yeah.
We all, like, we missed you. Because you came from, it seemed like you came from nowhere. And then you were there every day at Guz, at the indoor spot. How did you even find Guz in the first place? And why did you keep coming back?
I went to Guz because I met Dan Petrie. I met him in a local park. In a local park. It was a small tournament. And he showed up, and he was like, we just met. I met his father, I met his mother, and they were like, yo, you're good. And they were like, you should go to Guz. And I was like, what is that? And they were like, some indoor facility for handball players. And I was like, oh, really, where is it? And they were like, oh, it's here. And I was like, oh, I live like 5 minutes away. But at that time, I couldn't go because I was like 12 years old. So I had to sneak out all the time, or sneak there right after school and play.
Did you find that it was like a safe place for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a safe place because I feel like the owner was really strict with his rules and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Fast forward to today. You are definitely one of the more well-known players for your skills, and a lot of people say your game resembles that of Thabo, who's same thing, top 5 probably in the world. Did Thabo train you?
Actually, me and Thabo have never trained together. We've never trained together.
So how is it that your game is so similar to his?
I just watch videos. I would go to West 4 or Central Park and watch him play. But we've never played against each other. We've never trained, nothing.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, of course.
Do you look up to him?
Yes.
Does he know that?
Yeah, I tell him all the time, you're my idol.
What is it about Thabo that you like so much?
He's so respectful. He's humble. And his skills are amazing.
Have you ever seen his actual training routine?
He does a lot of calisthenics. Yeah.
He does. Do you have a training routine?
Well, actually, before coming here, I woke up really early to jog. And yeah, I jogged this morning.
How long did you jog for?
30 minutes around Sunset Park. Yeah.
So those hills.
Yeah.
Why did you see? There it is again, and I'm still trying to get to the root of it. But not many people take the initiative to wake up early and jog and train. Where does that discipline come from?
Well, I want to be the best in this sport. Yeah.
So it's your desire to win, to be the best.
Yes.
What do you think at this point is your competitor?
Overall, Timbo. Timbo is the best player right now.
I love it. I love that you went straight for him. Have you ever beat Timbo?
No, I've never beaten Timbo.
Have you ever gotten on the court with him?
Yes.
Have you ever gotten close to beating him?
No.
Have you ever played him in singles?
When I was 13, he played me with one hand and he beat me up.
Do you think that there would be a different outcome today?
Definitely, there would be a different outcome.
What do you think the outcome would be?
It wouldn't be a bad loss, but I think it would be closer than before.
Do you think that you have a better shot, especially because you just beat Gio? Do you think that you might have a shot at beating him?
I'll definitely try my best to beat Timbo.
Do you have your A card yet?
No.
Is there anybody in the B division that is your direct competitor?
In singles or doubles?
Ooh, both.
In
You either win in singles and in doubles.
In doubles, I don't see anyone beating me. In singles, Dan Petrie, definitely.
Why do you keep playing? Why do you still desire to be the best at this game? What keeps you motivated?
Believe it or not, I have kids from other countries that text me, but I don't answer. They're like, yo, like, you beat Gio, oh my God. Can you come here and play us and teach us, like, some things? And it's just like, all right, like, it gives me, like fuel to be the best. I want to be that person that, like, oh, Javi, he beat this guy and that guy, and he did this and he did that. Yeah, I want to be known for doing a lot of things.
Almost like what Dava was for you.
Yes.
So you want to be an inspiration to the people.
Yes.
Why?
Well, it'll be like a positive thing for kids or anyone. Yeah, I want to be a person to be looked up to. Yeah.
I noticed ever since you were small that you always have a positive attitude. You're always a good sportsmanship. A lot of people in this sport tend to move with the wrong crowd. How do you maintain your positivity, your optimism, and still be level-headed and respectful and a good sportsmanship, especially playing amongst the community of people that you play with?
Growing up, my brother would always hang out with bad people and bad circles. He would have a terrible friends. And I didn't like that. Not because my dad told me not to hang out with them, but when my brother used to get home at a young age, like he was 12, 13, he would just come like really messed up. And I didn't want to I don't want to be that person, that other guy in the family who would just look bad at a young age. And to this day, I just don't like hanging around bad people or just people who do negative things. Yeah.
So, what do you think needs to happen in the sport in order for it to become a professional sport?
People should just, keep the negativity outside. I feel like there's too many organizations that try to do too many different things at once, and it just messes up. Like, they should just agree to one thing and make it rise instead of just,
competing.
Yeah, competing, yeah.
Or like saturating.
Yes.
The small amount of time we have to play.
Yeah.
Whether it be winter or summer. Why do you think people don't work together?
They try to compete. Who's the best, or the best organization, or the best, I don't know, person. Yeah.
Where do you think that comes from?
Their ego.
The people that play the sport all say the same thing. It's just something brings you back. It's so addictive. People always use the word addictive. What do you think is so special about the sport that keeps people coming back, that keeps you coming back?
Well, handball can help you. It can, if you have like a anger problem or something, it could just like, this could be your getaway from anything else, and you could just take your anger out on the ball instead of doing something dumb.
Is it because you're actually hitting the ball? Is it like because of the impact?
Yes, I feel like it is.
I've heard that before. Willie Polanco actually said to me long time ago that it was his therapy.
Yeah.
And he'd rather come and hit the ball against the wall instead of hitting someone.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what it does for you?
Well, for me, I just calm down a lot, because I used to have anger issues, like really bad anger issues. I would just get mad out of nowhere and just, throw everything around. But now I have handball, and it definitely helps me a lot.
So do you think that keeps you out of trouble?
Yes, it does.
What's your favorite park to play at today? And why?
Grand Street and West 4th Street.
Why?
Grand Street, because everyone is nice there. Like, the surrounding is nice.
The atmosphere.
Yeah. And there's stores nearby. When you're done playing, you can just go eat. And West 4, you have a nice view. The city's right there to walk around in the summer. It's nice.
So after beating Gio, how did you place in the tournament?
I think I got top 16. Yeah. I lost to Richie. He's from Grover Cleveland Park. He's an A player too.
What was the score?
21-16.
That's close.
His serves are nice. He has nice angle serves.
So how do you think you're going to perform this year and overall throughout the year?
I'm definitely going to dominate. I feel like I'm going to dominate in the Bs and doubles and singles. Dan's definitely going to dominate too. I feel like I'm going to do really good overall.
What do you think about the Opens?
I feel like I've beaten a lot of players open players in tournaments and not in tournaments. I mean, I'm not really nervous anymore because I just go in and do what I have to do. Yeah.
Have you beat Dan in singles?
Yeah, we go back and forth, but he has like 2 more wins than I do.
If you had to think back to the games that you lost against him, why do you think you lost? Or how did you lose?
He has a stronger serve, and my returns are a little weaker from the back, yeah. But when I'm up front, I could score a lot of points.
So is that something that you've been working on?
Yes, definitely.
Right. Now that you've identified your weakness, you've been working on getting rid of that weakness.
Yes.
And so once you strengthen your return from the back and your serve, do you see that you have any weaknesses on the court?
Sometimes I mess up my lob because I either hit it too out, and that's the only weakness I see right now. Yeah.